And if you ain't American, you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying, right? If you ain't American, you ain't shit. All right, what the fuck? What's going on here? Well, that's good. That's real good. I got one camera falling in front of the other camera. I'm feeling it. Feeling like all right, what's the news? The news today. Let's see. War. There's a war. We're gonna start a war. Celebrating 250 years of nationhood. And according to this, we've been at peace, not at war, for 7 of those 250 years. Fucking liberals. That's who I blame for that 7-year drought. 7 years, no wars. You know why? Because Democrats are pussies. That's why. Because they just don't have the man gumption, man nuggets to get shit done. Woke bitches. Look, man, it's all about war. Right? Am I right? My face is shiny. That's because it's 90 fucking degrees already in Phoenix. It's going to be one hellacious year. If you don't have air conditioning, you're dead. And, but that's the thing is that people say, well, people have been living in Phoenix for a long time, back before they had air conditioning. Yeah, they lived here, but keep in mind that was before your McDonald's cow farts ruined the atmosphere. You meat-eating sons of bitches have ruined the entire world. How dare you? Meat-eating motherfuckers. God. Did I just get demonetized like 6 different ways to Sunday or what? Fuck it. I don't make any money on YouTube anyway. And TikTok, well, I thought that once the right people took over, Israel, I thought that TikTok would start paying better because they paid for shit before. Like their payouts were terrible. I remember I got to 219,000 followers almost overnight, mostly because of my looks, but partially because of my shining personality. And then I said, hey, yeah, you want to monetize me? Yeah, go ahead, monetize me. And they said, oh, monetize? Yo, you want to be monetized? Yeah, sure, no problem. And that was it. And for the last 2 years, I've been at 119,900 followers. And no matter how many videos I put out, no matter what I do, that last 100, nope. I got 85,000 views on a video, and they showed that 346 new people signed up in one day as followers, and I still didn't go above 119,900. Now, I'm not saying that the people who now own TikTok are tightwad motherfuckers. I'm not saying that they're the type of people who would screw their content providers, the people who make the videos. But you know what? That's okay. I don't take it personally. I'm not hurt much just because I do something different than get on here and lip sync to a fucking stupid song. Why do people do that? I don't get it. Like I scroll through the videos and all I see now are girls that try to look pretty and they strut back and forth in front of their camera and then they walk back over and turn off the camera. Or the ones who lip sync and pretend like they're singing a song that they're not singing. Honestly, girls, look, I mean, especially you ones that are pretty, because there's some pretty ones that are 20, and there are some really pretty ones that are 50, and you're all doing it. You're all pretending to sing and lip sync, and it's like, don't you have anything you could say? Like, say something. Hi, my name's so and so. My personality is as flaccid as an old Yiddish man's wiener. And then at least that way we know why you lip sync and nothing else. I don't know. I'm over the lip syncing shit. It's just killing me. And then, of course, there's also TikTok has just now absolutely destroyed themselves with these fake silver and gold ads. My God, what are you doing? TikTok. I even made a video about it and said, look, guys, if you keep redirecting every single person who answers one of these videos, and I've seen 35, 40 videos now, every time, doink, I hit it. I want to see where it goes. One actually said Atmex. I was like, whoa, you're fucking with the largest bullion retailer in the country. Doink, I hit it. Nope, didn't go to Atmex. Went to Schlemiel, whatever, and they had promised me Silver Eagles for $4 a piece. $2 if I bought 30 of them at a time. Yeah, oh, that's what's going to happen. You're going to sell me something that worldwide has a bottom line value of $90. No matter where you go in the world. Doesn't matter. Go to Berlin. Go to Botswana. Brazil. Any place that starts with a B. And you'll get $90. But no. You're going to sell it to me for $2. At that rate, Mr. Ellison, you're going to be broke in about 3 months. Because you may have a couple hundred billion, but there are billions of people around the world that would take advantage of that offer. I mean, hell, I'd buy a couple 100,000 of them myself. Yeah, $2 an ounce for silver. I could come up with hundreds of millions of dollars almost overnight. So if anybody knows where I can get silver for $2 an ounce, 999 fine, let me know. And if you can't, you go to someplace else and you find that it's 100, and you go, damn, that's steep. Yes, it is steep. Call me. My number is right there on my homepage. So simple. And I will make sure that you get 999 fine for just a little teeny bit above spot. Usually about half of what my competitors charge above spot. I know. I'm kind of awesome that way. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on in the world, okay? Because there's some interesting things going on in the world. I don't know if you've heard, but Operation Epstein Fury is going on. The Israelis pulled us into a war. Now, I know you're thinking, hey, that's disinformation. I'm going to get your ass kicked off of TikTok. No, you're not, because I didn't say that. That's not my opinion. I mean, okay, it is my opinion, but it's not just my opinion. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, also said the same thing. So did Mike Johnson. Well, who the fuck is Mike Johnson? Oh, he's just a Speaker of the House. Yeah, they literally admitted to it. This morning, they admitted to it. They said, and I'm paraphrasing, well, we knew Israel was going to hit Iran. And since Israel was going to hit Iran, we knew that Iran would probably turn around and hit us. So we decided to hit them first. What? Wait, Israel was going to attack Iran. Yeah. Unprovoked. Yeah. So we decided to attack Iran first. Yeah. before they did. Yeah, because we didn't want Iran to attack us. Right. So we started a war with Iran. Yep. Yep. And Americans have already started to die during that war. Yep. Yep. Sacrifices got to be made. And Lindsey Graham is totally okay with you making them. Seriously. He said so. He said there are going to have to be sacrifices, and he's okay with you making them. Now, does he have any children? I don't know. I mean, you would hope that a creature like that can't breed, because clearly it's some kind of hybrid of a human and a demon. But let's just say it can make offspring. Its offspring would never go to war. I'll give you an example. Barron Trump. Barron Trump is, by all accounts, a big, strong young man, like 6'4", 6'5", very good shape, very muscular. He would do extremely well in the Army. He might even have the balls to make it through the Marine Corps boot camp, although I don't know. There's an X factor there that, I mean, we had a lot of guys going into Marine Corps boot camp, and we probably lost at least a quarter of them. They just didn't make it. They just dropped out. Some of them got injured. That's legit. I don't hold that against you. If you're one of those people that says, hey, man, I was doing a training exercise and I fell from the from the O course and, or the confidence course, I fell into a sand pit from 25 feet up and blew out my knee. Hey, man, God bless you. You're a Marine in spirit, at least. You tried, before you got physically incapable. And there are other ways to serve your country. Go for it. However, I also saw one of the biggest, scariest dudes. I think his name was Chapman. Huge black dude I think he was from Detroit. I don't remember. I think it was Detroit. Just a monster. Just quit. Just couldn't do it. Just quit. Didn't make it through boot camp. Wasn't because he wasn't physically able. Shit. He was a monster. I mean, literally looked like a bodybuilder. Terrifyingly muscular guy. I don't know how good a shape he was in as far as running, but he's in better shape than I was. Hell, I didn't finish my first 3-mile run. Of course, I had a broken ankle. How about that guy named Goo? Big Goo. Big guy. I don't know what that means, Chuck. But big guy. I don't know. That's the thing about if it's a neocon, no, they didn't serve. I mean, Cheney got 5 deferments. Rush Limbaugh had a cyst. He had a cyst on his ass. There were many people. Donald Trump didn't serve. Lindsey Graham did serve. He was a lawyer in the Air Force. A lawyer in the Air Force, man. I don't know. He wrote parking tickets for F-15s. I don't know. But yeah, he was, and reserve. So, he did what every kid from a rich family does. They go JAG Corps, and then they also go reserve. That way they can say that they were real hardcore ground pounders, but they were really pogues. If you don't know what a pogue is, it's just a pogue. So we're at war. Just to point out some of the utter insanity of this. And for those of you who don't know your geography, this is why you should have paid attention in Miss Fermansky's class, or whoever it was that was trying to teach you geography, because I'm going to talk about geography now, and you're going to go, I don't know what he's saying. I hope you do know what I'm saying. We all know where the Persian Gulf is. We know where the Strait of Hormuz is, and Gulf of Oman. So if you're inside the Strait of Hormuz in the Persian Gulf, you're not going anywhere. Now, the good news is that we don't have to worry about that, because the United States Navy is not stupid. They realize that if you're in the Persian Gulf right now, you're fucked. Like, I don't think fucked covers it. Like, if you did it with all caps and then 4 or 5 exclamation points, fucked, with like 4 U's in it, because you can't get away from Iran. Now, we're not stupid. We're not going to park a carrier in the middle of the Persian Gulf where they can use anything from silkworms all the way up to whatever badass hypersonic shit they've gotten from China and Russia or designed themselves. So we're parked outside in the Gulf of Oman, but not too close. Well, as you know, frigates, destroyers, they have a certain amount of weapons on board. And what happens when they fire those weapons? They just tap their trident 3 times on the deck, and Poseidon comes and refills their. No, the armory goes empty, and then they go, well, fuck, we can't go to Bahrain. We can't go to our naval bases where we normally would load up, because they're inside the Persian Gulf. Duh. But that's okay, because look, Diego Garcia is not that far away. And for those of you who have never been to Diego Garcia, oh my God, Diego Garcia makes Hawaii look like the Sahara Desert. It is a tropical paradise, all 75 square feet of it. Seriously, it is a 3-day sail. If you're hauling ass, let's just say that you happen to be aboard a nuke, because nukes are fun because you don't refuel them. So you just pump that reactor up to 110% and haul ass. Put the pedal to the metal. Takes you 3 days to get there. And then you weapon up, you mount up, regulators mount up, and then you haul ass back 3 days. That's a week. Yeah, you're out of the fight for a week. Now, how many ships do we have over there exactly? 700 or 800? No. Maybe 40, 50? Some of them are tenders. Some of them are warships. A lot of support ships. You got to have a lot of support for all that beef. So we've got to run back and forth and back and forth. Now, you can't all fire off at the same time and then all leave, because then there's nothing. You've got no naval support whatsoever. So you got to work in shifts, right? Like, okay, let's go, whoever the fuck's over there, carrier, whatever, blah, blah, the USS Trump, I'm sure he thinks. So that carrier group, they do their thing while the other guys are sitting in the back, and then it's time to go. Like, let's go fill up. Okay, great, let's go fill up. Whoop, we switch. We'll come up, you go back, everything's great. Okay, so like, how much force projection do we have there exactly? Well, I mean, we bombs and guns and not that much. Not for a country that's 6.5 times the size of Iraq. Wow. That's a big country. It's a very big country. Well, I had a girlfriend once. I used to have to fake my Just kidding. Never had to. What have I acted in? That might actually be a serious question. It's in the Doors movie, just an extra. I've been in a few movies, but as extras, I don't, have I ever had a speaking role? I don't think I've ever had a speaking role. So yeah, it's just fun stuff. I never took it seriously, never wanted to be, well, I mean, I thought about being an actor. I thought it'd be fun, but it's not worth it. It was always more fun to just go on adventures and stuff. And the first 10 years or so, and theoretically they make it up. You look like I've seen you on TV. Well, now that's very possible. I've been on TV quite a bit, but that's let's see. TV. I've been on the news here several times. I was on the news here after Katrina because I went and saved a bunch of people's lives in Katrina. The Red Cross told me that I need to go through training before I could go and save people. And there were people dying. So I said, fuck you. And I went myself, and not Crime Stoppers. But then when I got back, there were just a huge amount of dogs and I guess cats, but I don't know, definitely dogs that were homeless. So I brought a puppy back, and NBC helped me do a thing on the news where I gave the dog away. So he went from being stranded on a tiny strip of land in the middle of a flooded zone, this little puppy, to a general contractor in Scottsdale with an F-350 big King Cab dually King Ranch fucking thing. Dogs love pickup trucks. It's innate. So guy had a ton of money and just super cool guy. And so this dog got the best home ever. He went from being a hurricane survivor to that. So, but they did a story about me because I went out there and saved some people. And then there was another one where a guy tried to rob me, and he set me up so that he could rob me. And I knew he was setting me up. I'm not stupid. I figured that because I'm in the gold business, the silver business, the rare coin business, when somebody calls me and their story doesn't quite sound kosher, but then they also want me to go out in the middle of nowhere to meet them because they're stranded. So, and I had my radio show at the time. So because of that, my producer, I called him and I said, hey, what does this sound like? And he goes, dude, this sounds like one of those deals where they're going to rob you. And I said, yeah, I thought so. And he goes, so what are you going to do? And I said, well, I don't go on the air until 2:00. So I'm going to go out there. And he was like, what? Are you out of your fucking mind? And I said, yeah. He goes, you're crazy, man. And I said, yeah, I know. We've been on the air together for 5 years. You didn't know that? He goes, no, that's bullshit. He goes, I pretend to be crazy. And I said, I'm not pretending. I'm not pretending to be crazy. And he was like, that's just crazy, dude. That's bullshit. You're going to get hurt. And I said, yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll be okay. So anyway, one thing led to another. Turns out that, yes, the guy met me. Yes, he said that once he saw that the situation was not going to be anything like what he expected. Once I got him in my car and I explained to him that I knew what he was going to do and that I would be more than happy to not just help him find God, but that I'd be even happier to help him go meet God. Because people like that always think they're picking on the weakest among us. And that's what he thought. He talked to me on the phone. He had no idea I was 6'7". He didn't know I weigh 300 pounds. He didn't know that I did MMA for 20 years, that I was in the Marine Corps, that, I've been in enough fist fights to write a country fucking song about it. He didn't know any of that. So he called me and he just saw what I do for a living, bullion dealer. And he was like, oh, good. And then he got me on the phone, and I guess I don't know, I guess I sound like a nerd on the phone. I've asked people who have never met me to describe me, and they always say, "Well, you sound like maybe you're a little pudgy and like no offense, but maybe balding a little bit, like you're an accountant kind of guy." And I go, I guess in a way, big accountant, but anyway. So yeah, I got a big news story done about that. That was funny, and I didn't call the news. I didn't tell them. I just came back to the radio station afterward, and my producer was losing his mind. He was like, "Dude, that was crazy. That was stupid. What are you thinking?" And then while I was on the air, he called the news channels and told them all about it and made sure they were there. I think he did for publicity for the radio station, which is fine. I'm up to drinking like 4 or 5 of these a day. And you know what? It does feel better. I do feel better. And the reason I feel better is not because I can break through concrete with my pee stream. It's not it. It's a fun fact, but it's when I sleep. I wake up in the middle of the night and my mouth isn't dry. I don't find myself like with my tongue stuck to the top of my mouth or trying to breathe and realizing, God, my throat hurts because I must have been snoring like a fucking moose in heat or whatever. Do moose in heat snore? I don't think they do. Well, anyway, moving on. Let me check something here. New tab. Let's get over to first Zero Hedge. This can't possibly go wrong. The CIA moves to arm Kurdish forces to foment government collapse in Iran. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because, I'm just a fucking idiot American, but aren't the Kurds the same ones that we promised we'd help if they overthrew Iraq and Saddam Hussein? And then when they did, we didn't help them. We turned our back on them and they got slaughtered by Saddam Hussein. Aren't these the same Kurdish people who want a free state of Kurdistan, their own country, which of course includes a big part of Turkey, who says the Kurds are nothing more than a bunch of degenerate terrorists? Now, I know what could go wrong giving our high-tech weapons to a bunch of Kurdish nationalists who are living in Syria or Turkey or on the border of Iran in Iraq. Nothing could go wrong there because look at our history of arming people like Saddam Hussein, who we armed so that he could fight with or against the Mujahideen. I don't remember. But anyway, Al-Qaeda was the name of his organization. It was put together by the CIA. I'm not sure how, but CIA has to stand for mother of all fuck ups. Because remember, it's the CIA, the same people who are about to give all of our high-tech weapons to Kurds. It's those same people who said last year there is no nuclear program in Iran. You guys realize that, right? When Tulsi Gabbard went in front of Congress and testified under oath, she wasn't testifying to what she thought. As the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, she was simply reporting what the people beneath her had reported to her. And the people beneath her are the NSA, the CIA, etc., etc., ad infinitum. As the Director of National Intelligence, I'm relatively certain that she oversees most of the 19 different spy agencies that exist within the United States government. You knew there were 19 now, right? Did you know that the Department of Homeland Security has its own spy agency? Of course, we all know about NCIS. Duh. That one's famous. Well, how are they going to get them to the Kurds? I imagine they'll just airdrop them. I mean, hell, it's not like we have to worry about Syria anymore. Now that the world's most wanted terrorist, al-Jilani, is no longer a terrorist, but now the president of the country and an ally of the United States. What the fuck? I'm sure he'll let us do it. And again, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, look, we're in this war very simply. Yes, had enough materials to build 11 nukes. That's so stupid, it's funny. Oh, are you talking about Netanyahu's 1995 address or his 1996 address? Because in 1995, he said they had enough fissile material to build 11. But in 2000, he said they had enough fissile material to build 25 bombs a year. So imagine over 10 years what that means. That was back in 2000. Yeah. I don't even think the motherfuckers who sang Macarena were born yet. And Netanyahu was squeaking about fissile materials. So the fact that you're telling me that Tulsi Gabbard, who's one of the few people in government I still trust, Tulsi Gabbard, who is an actual combat veteran, Tulsi Gabbard, who is the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who runs the CIA, said the CIA has zero evidence and very high confidence that they have no nuclear program. But here's the other point, Dan. If they had had a nuclear program, not to worry. Do not let your very lacy underwear get into a bunch, because the master of the universe, Donald John Trump, obliterated it. It's a big word, obliterate. It means to destroy completely. Obliterated it. About 12 minutes ago. Well, there's no radiation because there was no program. Because Tulsi Gabbard, one of the people you can actually trust, was telling the truth when she said they ain't got one. So when we went in to destroy it, we knew that it didn't exist, which is why we called Iran ahead of time and said, here's our target package. Oh, you got a target package that includes a bunch of unused buildings. Yeah. Remember when you had an enrichment program? Yeah. Remember how you used to use those buildings? Yeah. Well, we're going to blow them to fucking kingdom come now. Oh, okay. We got it. Because Israel attacked us and we retaliated, and then they attacked us again. And then this time we actually got pissed and decided, you know what, fuck it. Let's pound these little sons of bitches into the ground like a fucking tent stake. And after 12 days of hypersonic horror, they were begging the United States to do something. Please, Daddy, get them off our back. And the Iranians, in their stupidity, decided that maybe they'd had enough. Now, there were Iranians in the government who said, no. We have to make this hurt so much that they don't try this shit again. Keep bombing them. Like, let's bomb them right up until the point where they're about to pull the Samson option out. Like, let's beat these fuckers into the ground until they're ready to submit. And then we'll tell them next time we won't stop. And then there won't be a next time because they're going to go, no, fuck that. This is not some bunch of troglodytes living in caves. This isn't Osama bin Laden by himself in the mountains. This is a nation of almost 100 million people that has a huge amount of resources. Fuck. But they didn't do that. They decided to quit after 12 days. And obviously, instead of literally, Israel did exactly what Japan did with us. We took our foot off their neck. We said, look, if we have to, if we come back, it's going to, this next time, we're not fucking around. We're dropping some shit on you. You don't even understand. And they got together and in their infinite wisdom, they said, what do you think? Do you think they really going to do this? No. The Japanese decided no. They're bluffing. They don't have the stomach to invade the mainland because they know what a fight we're going to put up. So they're bluffing. Now's the time to really show them that we'll never give up. No, guys, we weren't bluffing. Like, that was not a bluff. That was us with our Christian values saying, look, we don't want to drop this new thing called nuclear weapons on you, but we will. They thought it was just us trying to act tough. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened just now with Israel. Iran quit pounding them after 12 days after we stepped in and blew up and obliterated all of their nuclear sites. And Israel said, oh, those pussies, they gave up after 12 days. That was easy. I'll bet they're out of, they're probably out of missiles. What? It's 100 million people in that country. It's 6.5 times the size of Iraq. This is not Iraq. This isn't a bunch of villagers using 125-year-old weapons like in Afghanistan. What the fuck did we step into? Well, we had to because we knew that Israel was going to do it, so we had to go first. What? Did Marco Rubio actually say that? Yeah, he sure did. He said we had to go because they were going to go, so we had to go. So we decided to start bombing a sovereign nation on the opposite side of the world because Israel. Well, that just proved every negative stereotype about the Epstein files. Every single one of them. Everything that we thought was the reason for hiding the Epstein files just came to fruition. You just got the United States of America into a war. You people in Washington, D.C., you sycophants, you broken little men with secrets all over the place. You got us into a war that's going to cost us hundreds of billions, perhaps $1 trillion, because Israel was going to attack them, so we had to go first. That is exactly what two of the top people in the United States government said today. The Secretary of State and the Speaker of the House. Isn't he number 3 in the government? 3rd from the President. President, Vice President, Speaker of the House, right? So this is an extremely important guy. And he said, oh, we had to do it because, oh, we're flexing our muscles. Is that what we're doing? That's really fun that you say that, because actually what we're doing is we're killing people, civilians. That's fun. Oh, and we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars doing it, and we're going to lose Americans, but you're okay with that, right? Yeah, Kip Snook, you're okay with Americans dying for Israel? You good with that? Because that's what you're saying. We started a war because we wanted to, because we thought that maybe Iran would attack us if Israel attacked them. And since Israel was going to attack them, we had to attack them. What? Host is spreading lies and misinformation about the facts. I'm simply repeating what the Secretary of State said. Are you out of your mind? I'm literally repeating Marco Rubio this morning when he stepped in front of the cameras and said, we had to go. We had to go. We didn't want to go, but we had to go because we knew Israel was going to go. And if Israel went, we knew Iran would hit us. So we hit them first. What? Well, that's the thing. Your kids won't fight for Israel on purpose. Will there be a draft? I hope not. I hope there's no draft because I know that I'm not volunteering my son to go fight for Israel. I mean, come on. If the Israelis look, if the Israelis loved us, great. Unaliving citizens. Oh, Kip Snook, you're such a sweet little man. You have no idea what war is, then, do you? You have no idea. You've never smelled it. You've never stepped in it. You've never been a part of it because that's what war is. War is killing everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you happen to be walking down the street next to that records building? Well, that records building was important that we took it out. So sorry. Look, when you got a guy like Obama who's supposed to be a constitutional law professor, and he literally says that when we accidentally killed a 16-year-old American, native-born American, in a drone strike, he literally says he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. You killed a U.S. citizen. Yeah, well, wrong place, wrong time. It's easy to name call there, Kip Snook, but I'm starting to smell Democrat all over you because you're diagnosing me, but you're not talking about what I'm talking about. You're just calling names. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounce off me and sticks to you. I'm going to tell my mom. Yeah, he's using all caps because his penis is only a couple inches long. That's why. But if they do have a draft, the president's sons should go too. Well, they never go. I'm not defending Trump. Defending a man that unloving his own citizens. No, I'm not defending Trump. I'm not. Oh, you don't mean like through ICE and all that stuff. You're talking about unaliving like lots. Ah, it's YOU''RE. You are. It's an abbreviation of you are. Because what you're saying is I own the defense. You're defending. Ah, it's my defending, huh? Well, thank you. The Ayatollah's dead. You're mad about anything President Trump does. No, actually, I thought that closing the border was a great idea. I'd love to find the 300,000 Chinese national men that are wandering around our country unaccounted for. That'd be nice. That's funny. They provoked their own death. Look, you don't shoot Americans. That's all. Just don't shoot Americans. If you have to jump out of the way and then chase some fat lesbian down, then do that. But you don't put a bunch of bullets in her face, because that is just bad publicity. And if you think you can get away with saying, "Whoa, she had it coming," that's just stupid. That's how you lose a really important part of the base. The base that says, yes, ICE is doing the right thing. When you say, "Oh no, put a couple bullets in that fat lesbo's face," big chunk of that goes, "Ooh, yeah, no, thanks. I don't, no, that's a bridge too far for me." And when you lose that critical part, now all of a sudden the Democrats win. Now, do I want the Democrats to win? That's funny. I made a video the night before the election, and I said, if Kamala Harris wins, I'll make twice as much money in 2025. If Donald Trump wins, I'll make half as much money, because I'm in the oh shit business of selling silver bullion. And people who buy silver bullion are older, more conservative, and wealthy. If Trump wins, they're not going to be as scared, and they're not going to buy as much. And I was right. The first half of the year, silver just went down. Now, once it became obvious that Donald Trump is just a person, he's not the second coming of Christ, and the economy is going to do what the economy is going to do, and he can only do so much to fix it. That's when silver started to go back up. But I was right. For the first half of the year, it went down. I also said that if Kamala Harris won, I'd make twice as much money. But I didn't want to make twice as much money. I'd rather make half as much money and live in a country that I knew was going to survive, because I have kids. So now I will say this. I am beyond disappointed that this administration has gone so far out of their way to protect the people in those files. To say that there were no files, and then to produce 3.5 million files, then to say that there are more files that they're just not going to give us, even though the law says so. That's not okay. I want to know whose names are in those files. Now, why do I want to know so badly? Because I want to know who controls those people. I want to know whose names are in those files, because I want to know who's being blackmailed, who's voting for things that don't represent me and my best interests. Lindsey Graham. Clearly, Lindsey Graham has got to be compromised. Lindsey Graham literally ends every sentence with destroy Iran, go to war, go to war, go to war, go to war. I mean, this guy has his head so far up Netanyahu's ass. They see the same things. I don't understand Lindsey Graham. What I don't really understand is the people of fucking South Carolina who keep electing this neocon piece of crap. This guy who literally gets drunk, goes on Fox, slurs his words, mumbles, and still gets elected time after time after time. It makes no sense to me. South Carolina, like, what's the problem there? Was there just a lot of asbestos in the water, lead-based paint chips that everybody ate? I don't get it. Like, South Carolina, I've been there. People were cool, nice people. How the fuck do they make such an enormous mistake? Because he is one of the worst politicians to ever walk that aisle. I don't know. He hated Trump, and then he loved Trump. Obama, Clinton's, Oprah, and Whoopi are in the Epstein files. You're on the wrong channel, dude. You got to go preach on a different channel, because I literally have the smartest people on TikTok on this channel. No question about it. And what you just said is so almost comically stupid that it's kind of funny. So what? Oprah? Whoopi Goldberg? Okay. And what's your point? Howard Cosell was on there. I don't care. Do I care if Lindsey Graham's on there? Yeah. Do I care if Ehud Barak was spending a lot of time here in the United States with Jeffrey Epstein at his house, and that somehow or another Epstein was leaking really compromising information directly to a guy who used to run Israel's spy agency? Yeah. Yeah, that's important to me. Do I think that Whoopi Goldberg is a threat to democracy? Have you seen her lately? Well, you know what? You and I agree on something, don't we? The Democrats love the poorly educated. That's why when Whoopi Goldberg is in the Epstein files, it's like, wow, well, okay, there's a name that has zero impact on my people. I mean, she's almost become a caricature of herself. She's so pathetic now. Oprah's got a lot of money. Oprah's a little more powerful, but Oprah's past tense. She showed her true colors in the Hawaii fires. Yep, Clinton flew there a whole bunch. Now, here's the thing. They were all hot and bothered to get Bill Clinton in there. Good. Because Bill Clinton he's a whore. That's obvious. We all knew that. I mean, was that a revelation to anybody? What did he do on the Lolita Express? What did he do once he got to Little St. James Island? Get the rest of the files and we'll know. You know there are videotapes of him doing all kinds of things. So let's get those. But Pam Bondi says no. Why? Why are you protecting Clinton? Well, they called him in. They asked him questions for 2 hours. Okay. Uh-oh. Look at that. Man, that was quick. Okay, but why? Oh, look at this. This is awesome. They didn't even say why. Wow, what a trip. They didn't even say why. Do I agree with the decision? Of course not. Wow, that's nuts, man. I can't believe that they kicked me off as soon as I started talking about Epstein. Boom, I was gone. Well, that's all right. Yeah, that was quick, wasn't it? Epstein and boom. Okay, let's see. My life does not contain what's mentioned. Quoting from DOJ files. Now, what's interesting is they'll probably give me a thumbs up on my appeal. Oh yeah, don't worry. You can go back on there. Now they'll wait for a couple hours until it's too late for me to do another live stream tonight. That's how they roll. This is the new game. That we thought that was bad, but it wasn't bad. By the way, it also says here that I had 0 viewers, 0 new followers, that I have zero anything. I was on for 57 minutes and I had 0, even though that's obviously not true. They just decided to not give me my stats on that one. And why wouldn't they give me my stats? Well, because they don't like me. Well, it was actually Clinton and Epstein. Once you start talking about that stuff, man, you're done. And the thing is that I get it because I was about to pivot from Clinton to people like Leon Black. Um, let's do a little homework here. Let's go here and go Leon Black. Apollo Management, I know that. Let's see, his net worth is $12 billion. He's got 4 kids. Let's see. Why did Leon Black leave Apollo? Well, gee whiz. He left Apollo Management due to significant public and investor scrutiny over his extensive financial ties and payments to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, which Black cited as a major strain on his health and family. That's so sad. That poor guy. You know what? You know what would be great? If we could have his testimony. Yeah. Bring him in and grill him the same way you did Hillary. Because Bill Clinton, yeah, he was involved. Hillary doesn't seem to have been involved at all, but you drug her in. So drag Leon Black in. Oh, and while you're at it, Bill Gates has now admitted that, yeah, okay, at least some of what Epstein said about me was true, even though I denied it. Really? Interesting. We didn't know that about you. So my point is this. What's true? Who knows? Who knows what's true? I don't know. But I can tell you this. There's a lot of people in those files and we don't know who they are. And they're protecting them. So this whole, this whole thing with the war and, Epstein theory, this is not going to work on me. I'm done. I'm done believing the big lies. I'm done believing the big lies. That's all. I'm just done with it. So again, for those of you who are wondering, yeah, silver's down today again. It was up and it's down and it's up and it's down. But, if you look at where we're at over, I don't know. Let's say that we look at what do you want? 6 months, a year. Well, let's look back over the last year. How much is it up over a year? $165%. Okay. It's gone up by $52. So, last year it was at 29. Now it's at 84.75. So, is that a terrible amount to go up? No, 165 is pretty good. Over 5 years, it's gone up by 220%. 220%. That's not bad. 220% in 5 years. I think that that's over 40% annually. Now, can you do that with BlackRock, Blackstone? No. Can you do that with State Street or Fidelity Funds? No, absolutely not. So my thinking is if you're going to invest in anything right now, based on the complete insanity in the world, it has to be silver. That's it. It's that simple. Invest in silver or roll the dice. If you've got enough money that you are comfortable rolling the dice, God bless you. Roll them. So All right, folks. Well, I've been on here for over an hour, so I'm going to go. I will be back on tomorrow night. I'm sure TikTok will let me back on after they see I wasn't bullying and I wasn't bullying Bill Clinton. Maybe Haps, no, fucking whatever that idiot's name was. Maybe they thought I was bullying him, but I wasn't. I was trying to gently and lovingly pull his rectum and his head apart from each other. But sometimes that hurts. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.